Sure.
And we are live.
Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. It is March 4th, 2022. Welcome to 241 Joe Live. We're missing someone today, but we have a very, very special guest, Mr. Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's looking at you, I think. I'm not
It
sure.
feels like he is looking at me, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
He's like who's talking right now? Who's doing this?
um, yeah,
Yeah.
don't don't beat me up, man. I'm a big fan, Tom. Big fan, big fan. All
He can
right.
he can get pretty violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I can't wait to. We'll talk about the trailer very shortly.
Mhm.
Something I'm very
Mhm.
excited about. But let's go ahead and jump into the box office. Looks like we got Doctor Strange at 31.6 million. Not bad. I probably will try to see this one more time. I've seen it twice. My wife has not seen it yet, so I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze it in. I'd love to go see this at the drive-in. I think
Have you
that'd be really fun.
which one? Downtown Abbey or Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
Oh. Um yeah, it would be really cool actually. What drive-in?
I usually go to the Kinda.
I
It's
guess
an
I've never
hour
been.
out. Yeah. So from Conway, it's like just an hour drive. It's easy drive.
Do they
Um,
have like the you tune your radio to the frequency, or do you have
mhm.
like an actual box that goes on your window or something for
They've
audio?
done a mixture of both. I think now, when I know when I first went, you would actually like pay for the little box that would sit in your car, but now I
Yeah.
think they have a dedicated radio station,
Oh, okay, cool.
and they've
That's
got I don't know if it's speakers set up around there, if it's generally you have like all these cars like with their windows down sharing the same radio station that, it's
do,
audio's never been an issue.
do they have? I have a lot of questions here. This is unrelated to the show, but now I'm curious. Do they have like one giant screen, or is it like seven or eight
Yeah.
different like screens combined to make a bigger screen? Because I've seen it different ways, like
Nope.
where there's
It's just
creases.
one gigantic screen. And they usually do two showings. It's usually back-to-back movies. So I mean you're
Oh,
there from like 7 p.m. to well into like potentially 1 2 a.m. depending on the lengths
holy
of the
shit!
movies. I am getting
Yeah.
some audio frequency. I don't know if you're hearing that or if it's from me. I don't know what's going on.
I don't hear anything on my end, but let me check my blue mic settings because it
Getting
does that
lots of
sometimes.
static.
Oh, really? Give me 1 second. Sometimes blue does not like me. These aren't always the best mics.
Oh,
Should have fixed it.
no.
It didn't. It might take a second to fix it. We'll see. Let's see.
Yeah, I believe it may be coming from that mic because yeah.
Always. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. That's better. It may be coming from AirPods, but anyway,
Is
I
it
can hear
better?
you. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Okay.
more static. Cool. But anyway,
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry,
if you
everybody.
haven't been to sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, but if you're Arkansas based, definitely go check out Kinda. I mean, it's not expensive at all. It's super cheap and just I would keep out for their calendar cuz I mean, you could go watch two solid movies pretty affordable and they got they do food and snacks and all that stuff, so it's fun. But yeah, Doctor Strange total box office 803 million. So will this hit a billion?
I don't know. I mean, like
I don't.
the first weekend was 180, and then we went to 60, which is it's a huge drop, but it kind of makes sense for this kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's a very spoiler heavy, front loaded kind of thing. And then we went to
Hmm.
31, so we had like a 56% drop over the weekend, maybe 55%. Next weekend will probably be about maybe a 30 or 40. I mean, we had Top Gun coming out, so it's going to be probably
Yeah.
15 to 20 million over the weekend. I don't know. I think it might hit like 900, maybe 930.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see it.
but
Small
it's
chance you
made
could hit 950, but yeah,
yeah, it's made over
it's made.
140 more than the first one, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
which is not unimpressive, you know, but it has a lot more. I mean, now that we've seen it, we know that
Hmm.
it doesn't have like all these Marvel characters in it, but
Right.
it does have more like Wanda's in it. Like it's kind of more
Hmm.
universe building a little bit versus
Yeah.
the first Doctor Strange. So it
Right.
kind of feels more like a spectacle tentpole one versus the first one, but it's really not. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is good numbers for it. I mean, again, if they can hit 900, 950, that's solid. I mean, Doctor
That's
Strange,
very.
you got to keep in mind he's only had one solo movie and he's been peppered throughout all these others, and he's
Yeah.
still like, I mean, he's a big character now, but he's still not like Spider-Man or Iron Man.
Right. We'll see a lot more of him, though. I'm excited to see what they'll do with the future films and how he'll
Yeah,
interact with the new characters.
yeah,
So we also
exactly.
have Downton Abbey: A New Era came in at 16 million, total box office 51 million. I've never seen the show. I have a very
Uh-uh.
small like understanding of the story.
Right, me
Um,
too.
I know a lot of family members do enjoy the show, but that's cool. It's still got a fan base still going, so that's great.
Yeah, I think it's solid for a TV show movie. Like
Yeah,
51
exactly. Yeah,
million. I don't know. I assume the budget's somewhere between 25 to 35. So I don't know that, but
yeah.
I mean, if
That.
they can shoot an episode, it's like what two? It's really just two long episodes, but of course it's going to be bigger
Hmm.
production, all those other things.
Right. Right.
I assume it's not just crazy expensive. So I don't know that, but
Yeah.
it's probably solid.
And then the bad guy, 6.1 million total box office, 182 million. Um, Another
That's
one.
solid.
Kind of want to take the kids to see, but may not get a chance to see this one. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's solid.
Um, I didn't see any. No, I just wanted to ask. Did you go see Men? Are you an Alex Garland fan?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Did you catch it?
No, I was out last week. But it's one I'm a fan of his previous films and his series,
Sure.
so I definitely want to check it out. Heard it's pretty
It
crazy.
it looks interesting, so I'm very curious to see
Yeah.
what's it all about. You know.
Sorry, folks.
I did
I'm getting
see.
static again.
We'll
I'm
switch
getting
to my AirPods. F this. F this Yeti Nano. We'll go to AirPods. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. That's better.
Oh, it sounds so lame. Okay. Yeah, so
Oop.
I did see Firestarter over the weekend though, and yeah, it was okay. I think
Yeah, I
it
think that's straight to Peacock as well. So
it
I
was. It
don't know.
was.
I don't know if I'll watch it or not. Though Ambulance finally released, and I didn't go see that in theaters, but I'm gonna try to watch that this week if I have time.
It released on Peacock?
It's either Peacock or Paramount. I can't remember. It's one of those
Really?
services. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go check that out, I
Originally,
guess.
I thought that was going to be a Netflix film. I thought it was theaters, and then 45 days after it would go to Netflix. But it's either Peacock or Paramount.
Wow. Okay, well, I know what I'm watching tomorrow night, I guess. So, yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's wild.
Yep. All right. So today we got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. Holy smokes! I'm so ready.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. I will say this, that mission, I love Mission Impossible. It's always been a huge part of my childhood. And, I was at Skydance when a Mission Impossible Fallout was releasing. So I was there during all that craziness.
Hmm.
And so, I've got a special connection to this franchise because of all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm obviously in. It comes out July
Yep.
14th,
Hmm.
2023, which is the day after my birthday. So we already it's weird because tonight we'll talk about it in a second, the new Thor trailer, but
Hmm.
that's also my birthday movie this year. And then next year we have Mission Impossible, which is also my birthday movie next year. So I think the trailer, Mission Impossible Fallout trailer was one of my favorite trailers of
Hmm.
all time. The
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
like the Imagine Dragon song. I mean, I'm not like Imagine Dragons is fine, but just the way they cut it and all these other kind of things,
Mhm.
it was awesome. I think this is great. I love it. I don't feel the same thing I did when I saw the Fallout trailer,
Mhm.
but it does feel like for me, from what everything we've seen, just the title, part one of part two,
Mhm.
this is the end game, right, of the Mission Impossible
Yeah.
franchise. And I think
Yep.
I put as the name of the show today. I was trying to think of what it is. I was like, I got the best title. Will Ethan Hunt die at the end of this
Mm.
franchise? What do you think about that?
Ooh. I don't wanna think about that. I don't
I
wanna
don't
I
either.
don't wanna I don't wanna go and get into that level of hype and predicting for mission. I love Mission Impossible films. They're so fun.
Yeah,
Um, and in Mission the first Mission Impossible is one of, like, f for me, most memorable movie theater experience. I was probably I need to see when it came out. I can't remember my age exactly, but I had to be, like, preteen, teenager, and just getting immersed in that film was just like, ah. Yeah, yeah, I don't wanna answer that one.
I think it's very possible,
It
but
is I'm
also,
sure it is possible, but yeah.
but I could see it being like a. I mean, they kind of did it in the last one, but I could see it being more of a
Mhm.
fake death kind of situation. Like it's
It
like
could
a
be.
it's a final, oh, he's
Yeah.
not actually dead kind of thing. He's gonna live on, which I think
Mhm.
Tom Cruise, which was the only issue I ever kind of felt like we might not get a superior Iron Man with Tom Cruise, was
Mhm.
that Tom wants to be the hero, in my opinion. Like I feel like he
Yeah.
wants to be the hero, he wants to be the protagonist in all his movies, he wants to be the movie star.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they kill him off, like I feel like he likes happy endings. I feel like he's a
Yeah.
happy ending kind of guy. I don't know that, but I
Yeah.
feel like that is. And so I don't know if they'll kill him off. I think they'll try. I
Mhm.
definitely think this will be the first movie, 100%, where the mission fails. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It has to, right? Like it has to
Has to,
fail.
yeah. Yeah.
It's part one. Has to fail.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a cliffhanger, or like kind of like Infinity War or Empire, or do you think it's going to be like, here's a mission with goals and we just
Mhm.
fail, but like there's lingering threads obviously that continue, or do you think it's going to be like, here's a cliffhanger and you have to wait till
Mm.
next year to see the rest of the story?
Oh, and see, they could that's a hard that they could go either way. A lot of that just I don't know what I hope they do something just different. I don't necessarily really want just a traditional cliffhanger to
Right.
where you like, "Let's wait for part 2." Like, I really hope it's either, A, the mission does fail in the first part 1, and we kind of, it's kind of more open-ended where the viewer, the audience can see the repercussions of what's gonna happen because they failed, or they're
Right.
gonna have to do something a little bit different.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's I part of me, I don't want to watch this movie and feel like Infinity War. Like we knew there was things lingering on, but the mission and the goals were, they either failed or succeeded, right? Thanos
Right.
got the stones, he snapped, they lost.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like it was a cliffhanger in the sense that like, oh man, the world's fucked. But it
Yeah.
wasn't a cliffhanger in the sense that like, no, this story was told, right?
Mhm.
So I'm hoping it's like that. Where
Yeah.
Empire,
Yeah.
it does feel kind of like the middle chapter a little bit. Like, I mean, and they both feel that way. But I hope this movie, like, there's a mission. I hope
Mhm.
they kill the bad guy, but I hope there's something else that maybe goes wrong or something, or maybe they don't kill the bad guy. I don't know. I can't think. The guy who's playing the bad guy, I've seen him in other things, and
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
yeah, obviously he's working for um, the other, the main, the antagonist that was started in Rogue Nation, right? And that was in a little bit of
Mhm.
Fallout. I can't think of his name right now, but he seems like he's always the ultimate now Ethan Hunt antagonist, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I don't know. I'm in for it.
Yeah. These kind of films, it comes down to, like, on from the villain's end, do they just wanna is are they just sick of Ethan just and the focus is gonna be like, "We gotta kill Ethan," or is it still kinda more of this world domination type mission?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely, you have Haley Atwell in there from Captain America or Captain Carter, so to speak,
Mhm.
and you have You have, the original crew back, and you have Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts. Like, him jumping off with that motorcycle, that's actually
Yeah.
Tom Cruise doing that. And, that was
Yep.
one of the things that we saw reported as they were shooting it. Like these movies now have become even just talking pieces just for the stunts. And like on a
Mhm.
meta level, we're getting the information years prior, and there'll be featurettes just about these stunts leading up to the movie's release. And we go in knowing like he's actually doing this kind of stuff, which kind of puts the movie in a different kind of level in terms of like a meta-ness and like how our appreciation for it as we're watching it versus just
Mhm.
taking it in. Just like Top Gun
Mhm.
this week. This week we have Top Gun coming out. Super excited.
Yep.
And we know because of all the things we've been talking about it for a year and a half, 2 years, is that they were actually in some of these jets, right? And
Mhm.
so we're looking forward to that on a meta level, and it will
Yeah.
kind of enrich the movie experience itself. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm curious to see what happens, and
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah. And I'm ready for Top Gun. My second viewing of Doctor Strange, we got to see like an extended sneak peek of Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah,
and I'm ready.
yeah,
I'm ready. It looks fun.
it does. It looks great.
So this is new news to me because I've been staying away. We're getting a new Thor trailer tonight. To like
Yep,
tonight.
tonight.
Oh man, the official trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder is out tomorrow. Hemsworth starts off by reminding us, "Do not miss it. Spread the word. Spread the love. This trailer is going to blow your mind. It is something that I'm so proud of." Describing this movie as incredible, he added that this movie is the greatest thing I've ever had the pleasure and honor of working on.
That's high praise.
It is.
Yep,
Here's the
I we're totally going to see Gore tonight. By the way,
That's
it's
what
going.
that was my question. That's the question. Will we
Oh
see
yeah.
gore?
Oh, we're going to see Gore,
And how
and yeah,
much? How
I
much
don't
like
know how much.
yeah.
We might see Thor and both Thors fighting, like maybe like a standoff moment, or we could just see Gore make an appearance and Christian Bell saying something. I don't know. I do know it's going to be heavy. It's going to be emotional. It's going to rock. I know that. So I'm excited. It's going to be cool. We're gonna, we'll talk about it next week, of course, on the show. We'll we'll
Yeah.
we'll break it down even more. But I feel like what we're not that far away. We're
Mhm.
a little over or a little under 2 months away. So like maybe like
Yeah.
6, 7 weeks. So this is like probably the first official trailer, and maybe
Mhm.
the first and last trailer actually. So
Yeah.
Doctor Strange has kind of had its time already, and
Yep.
we're fixing to get that first push now for Thor.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I know, me
I'm
too.
just generally excited. We're like I mean, we're getting these summer blockbusters. This is going to be a fun summer, I think.
I do
Um
too. I do too.
yeah. So I did see this yesterday. The Namor, is it Namor?
I say Namor,
The
but
proper
I've heard both.
Namor,
Yeah,
Namor concept art leaked. A blurred concept art of Namor leaks online. Is it true?
I don't know. I've seen it.
I yeah.
It's literally a concept art image that's
Mhm.
blurred. So it's like
Mhm.
I have a poster of the Mandalorian right here. I could take a
Mhm.
picture of that and blur it and then post on Twitter and go, here's the new concept art for Namor. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. It obviously it got pulled down. That's the interesting part. It did get pulled down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's, when that happens, you're always kind of
Um
like, hmm,
yeah, so I when I saw this breaking the other day, I did look into some articles and I found some where they had, here is an image from a comic.
right,
But then there's another image that I was never able to verify if it was the actual blurred image or if it was just another artist kind of showing a what could be another version.
right.
But
I mean,
I mean
there's not a
it's
whole lot we can say about this. I will say
yeah.
that I think Namor's in the movie.
Hmm.
I've been saying this for a long time. If a good idea for a sequel for Black Panther is to bring in another kingdom. Like we were introduced to Wakanda in the first movie, and it was
Yeah.
like this big like exploring that culture and that nation. And how do you do that again? Well, you bring in Namor and Atlantis um, into the MCU, and you do that again, but
Mhm.
underwater, and it'd
Yep.
be really cool. Obviously they're going to fight, right? Like they're going to have
Yeah.
issues, but I think, don't quote me, if they were cool and smart, like I think Marvel is, but of course I've been proven wrong sometimes, they should have Doctor Doom and Latveria being a third kingdom. And they
Mm.
should have to team up. Classic Batman v Superman situation. They have to
Mhm.
team up, and the person really pulling the strings for this conflict is Doctor Doom. And they have to fight him and sets up him in the MCU. Something. I don't know. Why not?
I Why not? That's I like that, and I think it's a new way to bring in Doctor Doom versus
Yeah.
I think what most people are going to expect.
Yeah, we've had this, like, he goes off with the Fantastic Four and he gets his
Hmm.
powers. We've had that twice now. And I
Yeah.
think there is merit to that in the comics sometimes, I think. I could be totally
Yeah.
wrong on this. But he's a ruler of Latveria. Like he's a king in his own right, right? And I
Hmm.
think it'd be cool to establish him as this other foreign power that's been doing his own thing. Like maybe he even has, because he does like dabble in like alchemy and
Hmm.
sorcery and those kind of things. And he could be like someone that's broken off from, the um, Doctor Strange world or something, or whoever, witchcraft or whatever from the Wanda world or whatever. And you have him as a third party. And maybe he's not the bad guy. Maybe you just find out in a post-credit scene, or there's clues that he's the one who kind of pulled this conflict together. Something. Well, with Fantastic
Hmm.
Four is coming down the pipeline eventually.
Hmm.
We've already been, spoilers if you're on the show. We've already seen Mr. Fantastic, John Krasinski, and Doctor Strange. So we've already been introduced to the Fantastic Four, right, in some way now in
Yeah.
the MCU. So it's a matter of time
Hmm.
before he shows up, who I consider Doctor Doom. He could be one of, if not the best Marvel villain ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I've always been a fan of Doctor Doom, and I do look forward to seeing what Marvel will do with this character for
Yeah,
sure.
me too.
Um, Cool, cool. All right, some Marvel Disney news. So Doctor Strange to potential Disney Plus date June 22nd with a special making of feature. That sounds accurate. I could
Yeah,
see them releasing that before Thor.
it's a month away. It kind of makes sense
Yeah.
to me. I mean, we're like what he made 30 million this weekend. By the time a month from
Mhm.
now, they'll be pulling in six,
Yeah.
7 million during those weekends, so totally
Yeah.
makes sense. Totally makes
Yeah.
sense.
Daredevil season 4. This is news that I'm very excited about. Could be a continuation of the Netflix series, and this is where things are getting very muddy online because
Yes.
I just see a mixture of both. I see, this will actually just be a continuation. Some people are just concrete, like this is a reboot. This is a reboot. Well, what does that necessarily mean? Like
Right.
this character was very well developed through Netflix and through Marvel. Like, I don't think they would just reboot this. I do feel like this will be a continuation. The question is like, will the other characters, or I haven't seen anything that says like all the other core characters have been casted as well and will continue on, or will any of that be the potential reboot of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you go on Disney Plus right now, you see I think it's the Defender. I can't know how
Hmm.
they've named it, but it's like the
Yeah.
Defender universe or saga, the Defender
Yeah.
saga, which to me
Hmm.
implies that it's separate from this MCU continuity, right?
Yeah.
And I personally feel like I love the 3 seasons of Daredevil. I love
Yeah.
all of it. They're not perfect. They've got issues. Daniel really has issues with season 3, I believe. But I
Yeah.
really, I really liked it actually. But I think Kevin Feige and the MCU to be smart to reboot it. And I say reboot it in the sense that you have these same characters, like in the same actors, Charlie
Yeah.
Cox, Vincent
Yeah.
D'Onofrio, but you're putting a new spin on it. Give me the first time the black or the sorry the yellow and red or yellow and black Daredevil suit, like his first appearance costume.
Yeah.
Make it totally different. Do that
Yeah.
first, and then give him the red later in the MCU version of the red one. But do
Mhm.
that. Get me. We already have Kingpin in Hawkeye,
Mhm.
right? And he's already
Right.
he has those sensibilities that we had in the original Netflix show, but he's not. But he's different. Like he feels almost a
He's
little super powered,
right,
and
right.
he feels larger than life more so than
Yep.
he did in the original Netflix show. So it feels like it's going to be a reboot, and I think that I don't see them doing the bloody Hell's Kitchen Netflix stuff. I see them doing more of the man without fear who's always smiling. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, which is
Mhm.
kind of more of a Flash kind of Daredevil comic run. He is dark and gritty. We got that Frank Miller stuff in the '80s, 100%. It gets dirty, but I think it's going to be more closer to Moon Knight kind of gritty,
Mhm.
and not Netflix gritty.
Yeah. I can
That's
see
just
that.
me. I
Yeah,
wonder.
that's kinda what I'm hoping for is just, we don't need to re-see, like, the story any let's just get the same people, and then it's just almost kinda like MCU edit it's just kinda like we're just kinda continuing on with this story where, like, Kingpin's still around, but it's just gonna be more of, like, the MCU versions of these. Yeah, 100%, like,
Yeah. Well,
that would be awesome to see the suit, though.
I think we'll
Yeah.
get kind of, I mean, like how they do with like Spider-Man, right? In
Yeah.
Homecoming. I think it'll be something like that, but I do think this is a new universe. I don't think this is the
Yeah.
Netflix universe. I think that
Right,
we
right.
might get flashbacks as a kid and they could use the footage from the Netflix stuff, or they could easily just reshoot that and put a
Mhm.
different just to make it different. I don't know, but I suspect this is a new version. I don't think this is the old version because
Yeah.
I also don't think that they want they don't want to confuse like this stuff is already getting confusing already. Like, like
A little
it's not
bit.
confusing for me, like because I'm in it, but I can easily see these conversations other people are having of like, well, what's connected? And I
Yeah.
mean that shit was happening 10 years ago. Now
Yeah.
we got all kinds of avenues of TV shows. So I see it. I see it being an issue. I think it'll be a reboot, but that's just me. Or soft reboot, but
Do you before we move on, do you think Spider-Man could make an appearance?
no, I don't.
You don't think they'll do that?
No. And simply because Sony's going to Sony, just like Nintendo's going to Nintendo, and
Mhm.
we are getting the Spider-Man like early years, but it is a weird thing. I just don't know if the rights extend to live action TV. I know that
Yeah.
Disney has the rights for the cartoon stuff for Spider-Man, which is why we're getting a cartoon kind of
Right,
filling in
right.
the gaps for his high school years. But I just don't know, and
Mm.
I don't think so because again, it's just that's a lot of paperwork. And
Yeah.
but I do think this is our next topic. I do think we'll see him in She-Hulk first,
Okay.
easily,
Yeah, especially since, it's a lawyer-focused
hundred
show
percent.
around She-Hulk, so yeah, 100%. Thoughts on the trailer? I did watch a trailer, so it's the second biggest trailer or Disney Plus trailer behind Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Um, I can see that a lot of people were chatting about it.
Yeah,
That feel when this
I
trailer dropped, that's all my feed was for a day.
did you like it? I mean, I did. I was
I'm
like,
fine with it, yeah, like,
yeah,
I can see, like, some of the CGI looks, there's
yeah,
silliness to it, like, maybe not feels, like, incomplete, but, I'm very intrigued to see where they're gonna go with the series.
yeah. I think part of that is a couple things. One, we've lived with Mark Ruffalo as this
Mhm,
character for a while, so when we see the Hulk, and now that they've really merged, we really see um, like Mark Ruffalo's performance through there, right? We haven't really seen this actress, or I haven't, so too much. I don't really know her mannerisms to kind of connect her to the She-Hulk CGI version yet. Like I don't really know, oh, that's her
mhm,
yet. But they've also made like Hulk is not attractive, right? He's never really been
yeah,
attractive in the MCU movies. And they can kind of give him blemishes and like detail, but they're making She-Hulk they almost like she has makeup on, right? Making her look
right,
pretty. She's a pretty version, a
mhm,
pretty Hulk version, right? And so I think because her skin looks smoother and it's prettier than like what we can do with Mark Ruffalo's, it's making her have like an uncanny valley kind of look.
mm,
I totally
yeah,
get it. I mean, it's a huge, that's a really difficult creative decision and hurdle and all these other things.
mm,
I think we got a little time, but I think the CGI will be a little better, especially when they hear. all this reaction, they'll probably want to work on it even more.
Yeah.
But that's just also the nature of how these things go.
Yeah.
And I do want
I
to
mean,
hear your
it's
thoughts on,
mhm,
at the end of Shang-Chi, we had, 'cause I haven't talked to anybody about this. At the end of Shang-Chi, we had
mhm.
Bruce Banner in his sling, right?
Right,
And
right.
he was Bruce Banner. But it looks like in this, he doesn't have, maybe he has a sling at one part, but he's Hulk Banner, but he he
Mhm.
he has his arms are healed again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what's happening here?
It's a good question. This has been the question that I've seen circulating around this trailer. A lot of fans are confused or just frustrated on like, are we going to get explanation on this? Because I think that's the thing is like the question is like, can he just at any time turn himself into the smarter version of Hulk? Like what's going on there? Like
Yeah.
I hope we get some kind of answers on that because yeah, there's. I feel like one of the early teases, if I remember correctly, I thought the early tease for She-Hulk, you see, him in the sling.
I thought so too. Yes.
That's if I remember correctly, you see him in the sling. So I don't know what's going on there. I hope they can give some explanation around that though, for sure.
I think they will, and um, I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. But
Because
I hope
yeah,
he comes back. I hope,
yeah.
yeah.
I think the thing with Shang-Chi is a lot of people were just like, well, why wouldn't we see Smart Hulk? The smarter version of Hulk in that end credit scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, there's only a couple things you can do with Bruce
Mhm.
Banner. It's either you make him the Hulk, you make him Bruce Banner, you make them combined, or you make them
Yeah,
separated. That's really
right.
like all you can do any permutation of that. That's kind of all you can do, and you can have different story reasons or whatever. So even it was funny. I think there was like I think Robert Downey Jr. did a interview with Joe Rogan post Endgame, and they were talking about the same thing. And it was like, what can you do with Smart Hulk? And Robert Downey Jr. was like, you just make him Bruce Banner again. Like that's all you can do. It's that's what Robert
Yeah,
said, and it's like
yeah,
you're right. Like I mean, that's what's going to
yeah.
happen probably. And I do wonder, like we had an ending for Cap, an ending for Iron Man. I don't. It feels like we're on the road for an ending to Thor,
Mhm,
especially, and maybe we'll get more of a clear picture of that tonight. But
mhm,
I wonder, we had an ending for Natasha. We've already kind of passed the mantle down a little bit for Hawkeye. I
mhm,
wonder what's Hulk's end game. How does he end his story? Like, and
mm.
what does that look like? I don't know.
Um, you want me to share my kind of thoughts around it?
Yeah, yeah, of course, always. Yeah,
I was digging into a lot of Hulk's story, and I could see potentially Phase 4 ending with World War Hulk. Like,
really.
maybe Hulk kinda, he just goes through a lot to the point where, yeah, I could see them going down that route where they need to stop Hulk. It's almost like a bigger version of Civil War in a way,
Yeah,
but, Hulk's just kind of like Bruce is just kind of they just don't, just I don't know. I have not read the full uh
yeah,
World War Hulk, but I understand the gist of it and just I could see them going this route where it's just like he just keeps feeling like he's being betrayed and there's the
yeah.
family dynamics, and then they've got to team up to stop him from destroying everything.
I do believe. I mean, if I'm right, there was World War Hulk, and that led to him being exiled to Planet
Mhm.
Hulk. And then
Yep.
Planet Hulk was basically the Ragnar, like the we got that homage in the Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok,
Mhm.
where we have Gladiator Hulk and all those kind of things. He ends up getting, I think, married. He's Hulk full
Mhm.
time. He has Sakaar or Scar, which is like his
Mhm.
son of Hulk, basically. And
Mhm.
he ends up coming back to Earth and he wrecks some more shit. But it's very possible, and I feel like I feel like we've went past that now. I feel like that's small
Mm.
potatoes.
Yeah.
I think like the end of if that was the end of Phase 4, I think Kang or I don't
Mhm.
know. I think Kang or someone like that will be into Phase 4. I don't know. We haven't. I was looking at the lineup the other day, and I was kind of like, where are we at? We're roughly almost halfway done with like the announced movies
Mhm.
that Phase 4 kind of encompassed. With the idea of like Fantastic Four being potentially the last one that's been announced, we'll probably get more announcements this end of this year. at D23 or something like that. But also, Phase 4 could not have a Avengers level movie. It could be end of
Yeah.
Phase 5.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like Phase 4 to me feels like it's new beginnings and kind of
Hmm.
setting up. I mean, obviously, we're going towards Secret Wars, especially after Multiverse of Madness. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that's small potatoes. I feel like Hulk is going to get the shaft like he always has because I just feel like he is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, also it's different too. Like it's Hulk.
Hmm.
Like Doctor Strange can easily take out Hulk. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out. I have to think on that one, but it's possible.
And
It's possible.
and a lot of it's like we don't know how big Kang is really going to be just yet.
Right.
We really need to see Quantumania to kind of see where that's going to set everything up.
I think
Um,
that and Loki season 2 are going to be the two to
yeah,
watch out for.
yeah,
You know, I thought
yes,
I thought Multiverse of Madness was going to give us something,
yeah,
but it didn't. It went a totally different
yeah,
direction, which it was I think disappointing. But
hmm
um, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe maybe Kang isn't this big phase ending villain. You know, it kind of
right,
felt like they were saying that, but now it kind of feels like I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what their
mhm,
direction 100% yet is. I don't know. I'm not sure Secret Wars is into phase 6, into phase 5, into phase 4.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
yep. Ryan Johnson's planned trilogy is officially on the back burner. Did see this big announcement. Ryan has been unbelievably busy with Knives Out and the deal that he made at Netflix for multiple movies. This is from Kathleen Kennedy. That makes sense. Because there's, he signed up to what Knives Out 2 and 3, correct?
Yeah, I want to say that he's shooting them back to back. I
That's what
could
I
be
thought.
wrong. I know that I believe, finished production on Knives Out 2. I'm like 100% on that actually, I think. But the big thing here is this is more like we've kind of known this for 4 years now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was always like me and Daniel always talk on the pod like, well, technically it hasn't been canceled yet. Like it's still there on these shareholder meetings or whatever. Like it's always like he's still got these trilogy planned. But it really feels like after last, like they loved his work on Last Jedi, then it come out and
Mm-hmm.
it literally split the fan base in half. And I mean I've been on the pro Last Jedi trick for a long
Yeah.
or train for a long time, and it
Yeah.
split us. And
Yeah.
now we're finally being healed back, right, as a Star Wars
Right.
culture slowly. And I think now that it's getting to that point, and
Mm-hmm.
there's an excuse now because the Knives Out 2 and 3. Kathleen Kennedy can maybe say these kind of things. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that conversation happened probably the couple weeks after Last Jedi come out, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we'll just keep saying this. Just play the game. Ryan Johnson's not stupid. He's gonna play the game too." And this was a long, long PR move. Is what this was.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah. Then we also have Captain Carter live action series rumored to be in development. I hope it is. I think that would be a fun series.
Yeah, I'm whatever. I'm in. I mean,
Yeah.
we got her for 5 minutes in
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. I doubt. I suspect she's a different version than the What If version.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. I'm in. Give it to me. Whatever.
Godzilla and the Titans. WandaVision's Matt Shockman to helm Apple TV live action series. Following the thunderous battle between Godzilla and the Titans that leveled San Francisco and the shocking new reality that monsters are real, the series explores one family's journey to uncover its buried secrets and a legacy linking them to the secret organization known as Monarch. I initially was a little shocked that like Apple picked up Godzilla because it just felt like it would be an HBO Max
Yeah, I mean,
kind of
yeah,
owned property.
yeah. Well, I think it's because I think they got really pissed off about Godzilla versus Kong. Legendary Pictures did,
Oh yeah.
and I think that it ended up giving it to Apple instead. So, like, I think I want to say they got sued over it, or maybe privately
Mm,
sued, but that was
mm,
one of the ones that were like, and it did decently well, especially during the pandemic, both
mhm.
box office and on HBO Max. But um, Yeah, I mean, we heard this was happening, but then, you look at the title and you're like, "Oh, are we gonna get Godzilla?" Well, we still might, and the Titans, but
Hmm.
now it kinda feels like it's just like a side family drama story, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"That's kinda lame."
yeah. It's
Like, surely
this
we'll
is
get
always my
Godzilla.
struggle. This is always my struggle with like the Godzilla reboot, because especially with Godzilla, like it's a beautiful film, but it's just like I want to see Godzilla. Just
Right.
feel like within that, we never really got to see Godzilla. You kind of built up a 2-hour film for like the last 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
reading this seems like this is following that film, right? Following the second film.
It feels yes, it feels like it's probably somewhere sandwiched in between King of the
Mhm.
Monsters and Godzilla versus
Yeah.
Kong.
I'm just curious on the family. Like, is this something like that's gonna pull in like Millie Brown's character?
I
Can't
don't
remember her
think
full name. Is it
so
Millie Bobby Brown?
because she grew up, in Godzilla versus Kong, so it'd be kind of weird to.
Yeah,
And here's the thing. Let's just say this: the worst parts about these movies are the human characters,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially. And I don't mind this. I think Godzilla 1 and Godzilla 2 like pretty decent. Like I mean, I don't mind the human stuff in that. Godzilla versus Kong, the human stuff is pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
And I still like that movie a lot. I mean, because I get to see Godzilla versus Kong versus Mecha Godzilla, so I'm like, I'm fucking in, baby. But it's also like, I don't know, is this sustainable? Like, is this going to be something I care about? Um, I don't know. I'll probably watch the first episode.
Yeah, same. I'm more curious on the creation of Monarch. I would have rather seen if I want to see a human series, I want to see it around the creation of Monarch and what's going on there.
Yeah,
Personally, we'll
it'd be
see.
cool to see Tom Hiddleston in flashbacks or something, because
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was. It seemed like he was part of that maybe initial startup,
Hmm.
maybe with like Kong
Hmm.
Skull Island. I don't know, but I don't feel like that's going to happen. But
Yeah. Some more from Kathleen Kennedy. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy was asked about recasting roles, specifically in regards to Solo, and responded, "There should be moments along the way when you learn things. Now, it does seem so abundantly clear that we can't do that." Okay.
yeah, I put this in here because me and Daniel kind of talked about this a little bit privately. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
the wrong lesson to learn from Solo. I think Solo's a good movie. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a great movie, which is why it's a bad Star Wars movie. Like Star Wars should be
Mm.
great, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a good Star Wars movie. It's just not a great one. I think he did a fine job as Han Solo, personally. And hey, it's not Harrison Ford. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But what that movie didn't do great because of some of the decisions you made with the character, like some Imperial officer names him Solo, or the Kessel Run is really, it's not really kind of what we maybe imagined. Even though I don't mind it too much, but it's
Yeah.
just it's all these things are, you're filling in gaps that maybe we didn't really need to know, or now they're just
Yeah.
those things are lesser because we do know, and or
Mm-hmm.
even the romance with him and yeah, Emily Clark's character, can't think of her name.
Mm-hmm.
So like all these things, I feel like that's why the movie didn't work so well. And also you change
Yeah.
directors mid shooting, all these other kind of things. It's not that you recast the role, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like, we keep talking about this Luke Skywalker situation on Mandalorian. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we were all, I think, maybe I was, we were kind of hoping they'd recast Luke, maybe Sebastian Stan or whatever, and give
Mm-hmm.
us this Luke Skywalker Grogu TV show or something. Maybe he's
Mm-hmm.
rebuilding the Jedi Academy. Maybe Ben's there as a kid. Who knows? And we get to see more of that badass Luke we got. Now it's great seeing him. I think the visual effects are god dang impressive. And
Yeah.
Boku Boba Fett, right? Like we're
Yep.
we're getting better and better. But there is still something missing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's limited what you can do with that as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like they're doubling down on that idea of like having CGI characters. And I mean, look at even Stan Lee, the announcement that he's gonna a 20-year
Yep.
deal with like cameos in the future, and I guess they're making out with the Stan Lee's estate and the family, so they're getting paid for that. So which that's a whole other can of worms. But
Yeah.
I feel like these characters, if you're going to make them go on, they can be recast. Like, look at Rise of Skywalker, look at Princess
Mhm.
Leia. That
Mhm.
movie suffered tremendously because they didn't do either two things. They should have killed her off either in Last
Mhm.
Jedi or had her die off screen and had it in the crawl in the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, or they should have recast
Mhm.
her, which is probably what they should have done. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
It almost feels like
Yeah.
like heresy to recast Princess Leia in the last Star Wars movie. I get that. But also, I don't think Carrie Fisher is going to come back as a CGI character. And like her performance suffers because it's just snippets of unused footage and like
Mhm.
it's really weird, right? And
Yeah. Just disconnects you from like everything that you should be the core story.
yeah,
And
it's weird.
yeah, I agree. Like I was on I'm on the side where like I would love to see Sebastian Stan cast as Luke Skywalker.
Joe Williams is here.
What? He's joined.
The man himself. Joe motherfucking Williams.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't want to cover you up.
Oh,
Joe, let me get you on here.
Sure.
Joe Williams.
What up? What up?
what up?
How you
What up?
doing?
Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. I am. I have all kinds of medication right now, so there we go.
Perfect. You can join our conversation about you must have felt the force or something. We're talking about recasting these legacy characters. We're fixing to do the same thing here with like Kathleen Kennedy basically says we'll catch you up that she also thinks that they should never recast Indiana Jones. Like Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. And I'm like,
Mhm.
we did it with James Bond. We did it with Batman and Spider-Man. We need
It
Yeah.
can
more
be
Indiana
done.
Jones. Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't think that's something that's too hard to do, and I think that's a foolish mistake on our part. She's blaming that on the supposed failure of Solo, but Solo was not a bad movie. It was a crime heist. It was definitely good in my opinion, and it had a
Mhm.
lot of fun stuff to it. I think the mistake of Solo is that people were so hurt by Last Jedi, and they
Mm.
tried to start doing this thing where they're going to put a movie out on May the 4th too, but that was still soon. It was still pretty fresh in the theaters from Last Jedi.
It
So I
was.
think
Mhm.
if they had stuck with the original plan where they kept releasing a Star Wars movie every December, it would not have had the same impact, and I think Solo would have been much more successful in the theaters.
I think it would have too. I still believe that
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's a good movie. It's not a great
Mhm.
movie. And Star
Mhm.
Wars needs to be great. That's what in my
Look,
opinion.
look, look, look. You know me. I am a Star Wars fan among
Yeah,
Star Wars fans.
me
I
too,
read the
man.
comics. I read the books. You know me. I love some Boba Fett. All right.
Right.
It's like, and
Right.
even Book of Boba Fett, I will defend that forever because you gave me more Boba Fett and kind of changed them up a little bit, but I like it. I love it a
Right.
lot.
Mm.
There are Star Wars movies that are not great Star Wars movies, and that's
Sure.
Yeah.
okay
It is
because
okay.
I just want more. I just want more stuff, and I think Solo was a great. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is the most amazing Star Wars movie. It wasn't, but I still love it a lot. It's a great little
Yeah.
expansion.
Yeah.
Heck,
I
man,
saw
I love the Ewok movies. I said it.
the Battle for Endor.
Oh, don't you mock that. That's a good movie.
It's a good title. Never seen it actually, so I can't comment on it too much.
Then you
Maybe
shut
we'll
your
have
mouth.
maybe we'll have like a mystery science 2-for-1 Joe theater or something. And we'll watch these in the holiday special as well. We'll drink every
Yeah, we
time we
can mock that.
see
We can mock
Mark
that.
Hamill's makeup slide down his face. Um, yeah, yeah, no. Anyway, that's my piece on it. It's not about recasting these roles. It's about making good stories,
Yeah.
and continuing on. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to like do other things besides legacy characters. Like we've talked about this on the pod recently.
Mhm.
Like Star Wars
Mhm.
is bigger than the Skywalkers, I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
So much
But
bigger.
also, Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones. Like
Yeah.
you can keep that character going on forever. Give me more Indy. Harrison
Mhm.
Ford, I love him. He will always be my Indiana Jones. But also, so was Sean
Of
Connery
course.
for a lot of people. And then Pierce Brosnan
Yeah.
come along, Roger Moore, Daniel Craig.
Mhm.
Give that character
Mhm.
Yep.
generations to go.
Yeah. other,
You can continue. It's a timeless character.
yes, and yeah, just keep it going. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So WB's got a new boss in all caps.
Yeah.
David Zaslav.
Zaslav. Yeah, Zaslav.
David's cleaning house. DC movies to become a theatrical first goal. Well, David, why did you scrap Wonder Twins?
Right?
Because it was $75 million on HBO Max. That's why.
Okay,
Hey,
so get
when
it.
twin powers activate, Mr. Donovan.
Hey, even if they re-announced it today, I will have to start looking for the Best Buy Steelbook. Like, I mean, like if they re-announced today, but I'm in for it. I don't care. I'm going to watch it, but they scrapped it. And and also what was interesting, I didn't put it on here. There's a quote saying, as it was currently conceived, this didn't make any really, now I'm paraphrasing, this didn't make sense for HBO Max. So it seems like he's not against Wonder Twins. He was just against whatever version they pitched and agreed upon before his reign happened. He didn't feel like that was good for HBO Max, or maybe it could have been better in a different version, but maybe in a movie theatrically. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I do hope they'll continue I feel like we will get a Wonder Twins series or film eventually, but yeah, hopefully David's kind of on the right track. So to the next note is Batgirl going theatrical, which
it should.
It should, yeah. I guess I always thought this was going theatrical. I did
too.
Yeah. No, it was HBO Max. It's supposed to be HBO Max release this fall, actually, after the Flash come out. But now we don't know because the Flash.
Right.
There's a lot of cleaning house going on at DC. I'm kind of excited for this guy because I think he's making the right choices. I mean, I'll be honest, he couldn't hurt anything.
That's true. That's true.
Unless he's touching the animated stuff. I was like, don't touch the animated stuff. That's fine. That's working okay.
Right. Yeah.
I need to re-review DC's lineup, but like Batgirl, like put in theaters like this Christmas, or make it like
it's supposed to be.
But how can you? Michael Keaton's in it. I mean, like, are we just going to have him? I mean, I want it. Give it to me yesterday. I can keep up with the timelines, but like, how can they do that? Like, Michael Keaton's the Batman now in this universe, and we haven't seen his big, because in the Flash, there's going to be like a kind of a cool, almost meta-like reveal of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne or Batman. It's gonna be kind of like the first oh shit moment, right? Like we're finally getting him back. I feel like that really won't be so much like that in Batgirl because we'll have that in the Flash. And I feel like this is a continuation of post-Flash universe, right? So like this is New 52, Batgirl, whatever explanation. So I feel like this has to come out after the Flash. So in the Flash, I think I pushed back to like next June or something. And
then release Batgirl next Christmas. Like I'm not saying this. It just needs to. I just feel like it seems like could be more of a holiday type release. But yeah, if we're just gonna go theatrical, then just get it done right, guys.
Here's the answer: you need to reshoot the ending to the Flash yesterday, and then cut it together, because I know that fucking movie has to be getting close to being done. There's just there's no way if Marvel can do what they do, there's just no fucking way that these Jokers can't do it as quick. Like I don't understand. They use the same. All these people use the same visual effects houses. And there's always overlap, and some use, some not. But you've got from now till fucking Christmas. It's possible. They shot this movie. They finished shooting this thing last fall, and get it done. Recast Ezra Miller, kick his ass to the curb, and then give me Batgirl at Christmas time. I don't understand why DC is just so hell bent on changing the release date so far out. Like. It's just like
it's not even DC, is it, man? It's really Warner Brothers.
Well, that is DC. I mean, at this point, it is DC. I mean, Warner Brothers, if they own the property and they're making the decisions for DC, when I say DC, I'm talking about the bosses, and that's the boss is Warner Brothers.
I know you didn't mean it this way, but I appreciate you called them Jokers, because I keep thinking it's like, oh, so it's like the villain, it's the gang from a Batman Beyond, right? Yeah, that's who's running the place.
It feels like it sometimes for the fans. I don't know.
I do love some Joker.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to get on a tangent, but it's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to
Did we talk
watching
about the other decision
David's
that DC
movie.
made yet? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to
What
get on and
what
see.
what was
Well,
it? Tell me.
Amber Heard.
Oh yeah,
well,
that's
we're
coming
about to
up.
get to that. Yeah, that's coming
Oh,
up.
we're coming into that. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, we're gonna get
No,
to
you're
that soon.
good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
All right. So a few more things to wrap up the show. So the Spiderhead trailer, which is starring Chris Hemsworth, dropped. Have not watched it yet myself. I'll try to do that sometime this week. Yeah, I've not been keeping up with this film, so I don't really know what it's about. Did either of you watch it?
Yes, I put it on here just because it was interesting and like it's a new
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth Netflix movie. He has like an American
I liked it.
accent. It's kind of wild, and Miles Teller. It's kind of wild, and I'm
It is.
curious. I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
weird kind of concept, but I dig that type
Yeah.
of stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
I'm ready for it.
sci-fi
Yeah, I'll
Shutter
check-
Island kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll try to watch it today. I did see this the other day. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen reboot is in the works.
Yes.
I'm excited for this one.
So
This is another
excited.
one
Sean
of
Connery's
those.
not gonna be in it. Rest in peace.
Yeah. This is one of those memorable theatrical experiences for me, like teenage years. Like I remember going to the theater to watch this one. Yeah.
This is his
That
last
movie was so much more
movie.
fun than people get credit for.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching it in theaters actually. I was young and I remember like liking it kind of, but like I wasn't just like in love with it, and I've always wanted to revisit it and kind of break it down again, but I know people talk about it in kind of a very disliked way, but I'd like to watch it again. It's Sean Connery's
Yeah.
last movie he made. I guess it was he
Yep.
turned down Gandalf, playing Gandalf in Lord of the Rings to
Because you
play
didn't
this
understand it.
to play this role, which is kind of wild, but
Yeah. It's pretty
um,
wild.
yeah.
Which I kind of granted I like the way Lord of the Rings went because obviously that movie it's absolutely perfect in my opinion if you're watching the extended versions. But I keep looking back at that. I was like, could you have used Gandalf? As Sean Connery? It's like you could have, but that would have been a whole different show.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So now we're getting into this big news. Amber Heard is getting 10 minutes of screen time in Aquaman 2, reportedly dropped from her contract. My understanding was any action scene she was in, that was dropped, correct? It's only going to be just like 10 minutes of just some dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure.
They will not take the embarrassment anymore. They have put a squash into it. Taking a stand. I'm not getting political. That's their business, but it's all over the internet.
I mean, I feel like this decision was made, two different ways. There's three different answers here. One, Amber Heard's not that great in the first movie. She's not.
She's not good in general, in my opinion. But whatever.
She's not. She's very pretty, but she's just not that great of an actress. You're right, Joe. I don't think she's great either. But she's not good in that movie.
No.
They dropped it from that.
That's all about Jason Momoa. He makes that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any charisma in it, it's him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing is maybe this was just the story they wanted to tell, where they wanted Black Manta as the other swashbuckling co-pilot, and they wanted a brother story. Yes, yeah, he should be
Black
Aquaman.
Manta in the original movie is still.
Yeah.
That was like that's like.
That's Aquaman in my opinion. Patrick Wilson.
Yes.
He should be Aquaman, but I digress.
Ooh,
so that's that. Or obviously because of all the scandal with Johnny Depp and all these things, they're reducing her role. And I feel like this happened probably, this scandal's been happening a long time. It probably happened years prior, right? But I think it's probably a combination of all those things.
Yeah.
All I know is it's weird because Mara is a huge part of the comics for Aquaman. It's kind of weird to take her off the table. I wonder if Black Manta is going to kill her. I don't know. Will Black Manta kill her?
Maybe.
Could happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll probably recast her, I think.
Really?
I think so. Because that's more salt in the wound there. Because let's be honest
Yeah.
here. With them taking the stance they did on Johnny Depp, all right? Not saying they made the wrong choice. They did the choice they had to make. Right. Considering all the stuff, the back and forth that's coming out now and everything else, I'm kind of like, well, you kind of got to do the same thing. You got to take that stance again. So
Well, here's my question then,
I don't think
Joel.
they're going to kill her. I think they're going to recast her somehow, and we're going to move on.
Here's my question then. Why the fuck is Ezra Miller still working at Warner Brothers? I don't understand, like, the
I think
picking
that's
certain
coming.
actors. I
It's
hope
gonna
so.
come.
I know it's
It's got to.
I think
complicated.
that's
They
coming.
just shot a whole movie with the boy playing multiple roles, and they just had Secrets of
Mhm.
Dumbledore come out too. I get it, but
Mhm.
I
like,
think they got to a point on Flash though that they're like, all right, I think what happened once all that crap started coming out about him, they were like, we're kind of at a point of no return here, so we're kind of stuck with
Yeah.
this. But I think we can tweak this a little bit, where we can leave it a little more open ended at the end and change the actor. So let's do that.
I hope so. I think though, like, they need to do this. They need to have this announcement as quickly as possible. They need the
They
Yeah.
public
should. They should.
to digest it. They need
Yeah.
to set expectations, and then they give us a year and a half to anticipate what's going to happen. Like, if you let the
Mhm.
fans know, hey, we don't agree with this actor, all the things he's done, we're sorry, but you have to watch a movie with him 90% of the role. But at the end, we've recast him as something else. Just know, and that's complicated. Like, some people are gonna, if they, whatever they do, there's gonna be a group of people that's gonna say like, no, just can the
Totally
movie,
is.
boycott it, like, don't watch it, period, because he's in a single frame of the movie. Like, and I get that. I get that. I mean, I'm gonna watch
Totally.
every fucking frame 15 times over, but I get it, you know. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
complicated. It's complicated.
Well, it is complicated. And let's be honest here. I mean, we're coming back to. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but we're getting back to the Bill Cosby problem, right? You've got an
Right.
actor that does something very egregious. All right. Not saying Ezra Miller did what Bill Cosby did, but hear me out. It's like, that being said, I still cannot fault his work or the characters he creates and stuff like that. That story is entirely separate from who the artist actually is, right? Like, as far as like the Cosby Show is still great to me. Dr. Huxtable did nothing to nobody. Bill Cosby, on the other hand, yeah.
Right.
So you get into this like moral gray area. I think sometimes it's okay to remember what the art is, with by understanding still how terrible maybe the author is. I mean, I love Rube Gold. No, that's not it. Rube Dahl or whatever his name is. BFG, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all that stuff are these fantastical stories. But do he's got some skeletons in his closet.
Right.
I mean, it's these things.
You're right. It gets complicated for sure.
It is get complicated, but I have to go back with what Luke was saying. I think with the new studio head, he's cleaning house. I think we're on the right
Yeah.
path.
Me too,
Yeah.
baby. Come on, Mr. Zaslav. Clean it up, baby. Clean it up.
Clean it up. Clein it up.
Watch
So,
the show and hire me.
speaking of skeletons, we got the first teaser
Ooh.
trailer for Prey.
Segue.
Oh,
Which-
I was like, where are we going with this?
I like it. I like the segue.
Because if you're listening, not familiar with Prey, Prey is going to be a new film in the Predator franchise. This will be the story of when the first visit a predator makes to Earth, and it's going to be almost like, I guess you call it a period piece. So Predator's going to be fighting a Comanche warrior or warrioress. And I'm hyped. Like, I'm very excited for this. I'm a big fan of Danny Trachtenberg. Danny, if you're watching and you have any of the original hoodies from when it was titled Skulls, send one to me, please.
Do you prefer? I heard this a lot. People prefer Skulls over Prey. Do you like that?
Oh
better?
yeah, oh yeah. I
Skulls
liked
was
it when it was
better.
announced. When it was announced as Skulls, and then Danny was sharing some behind the scenes. Like, he shared like an over the shoulder from like the crew, and they had like the custom hoodies that he made with skulls. I was like, please. He's like on the back corner, it's got like the Predator laser, the 3 dots.
Oh yeah.
Please, Danny, please send me one, please.
Yes.
Like, so cool.
Yes.
You could send 3 of them to 2-for-1 Studios for all of
we will
Joe
wreck
Live. We're here for you, Danny.
Google
So, yeah.
location. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I was surprised that this moved away from theatrical release, and now it's going to be exclusively on Hulu, and it's releasing August 5th.
I am very bummed about that, actually. Like, I want to see this in theaters.
Yeah,
it's a Predator movie, and
I think you should have been in theaters too.
Huge Predator fan. Yes, Joel. And I mean, I wasn't super excited about this. Like, I think I might be in the minority here where I kind of like the Predator, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There was decisions in there I wasn't 100% game for. Like, I think, like, they changed the whole third act, or fourth act,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like from nighttime, or sorry, or from daytime to nighttime, and all
Yeah.
these other things. And there's some wonky stuff at the end there, but like, I like the humor in that movie. Shane Black, I love his writing in general.
Which one are we
I was
talking
kind
about?
The
Talking about
Predator.
the Predator,
Oh,
the
yeah,
most
I'm sorry. Go
recent.
on.
I've
Yeah, I mean,
only
like,
watched that one once, but yeah, I may go. What I need to do is rewatch all of anything that's Predator related before
but
August 5th.
I was kind of
So, Luke,
enjoying this.
before we continue real fast, what's your Predator movie, Luke?
I mean, the first one is always going to be the best, but the second one,
Yes, thank you.
slaps, man. The
No.
second one,
That's my movie. Yeah.
No. Well,
Yes, Predator. The original
you're
Predator
both-
puts it in place, but Predator
Yeah.
2, that's the one.
No, I mean, Predator 2's, hey, it's great. But like that movie really, it doesn't really pick up till the second half until it starts until he starts going after Danny Glover. It doesn't really pick up, in my opinion. I love all that stuff. Like, we're getting to the inside of the ship. We see his arm get cut off. Like, really, whenever you see that chase happening, that's where the movie kicks in. I love the drug cartel war and all these things. I love the concrete jungle aspect of it. I love all that. But Predator 1 is where it's at. John McTiernan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers. It's my dad's favorite movie. Obviously, I have a special connection to it.
Same, yeah. My dad's favorite. My dad's all about predators and aliens, and
huge fan.
Oh man,
my dad is so much older than y'all's dads. My dad's favorite movie is Casablanca.
Oh wow, yeah, a little older, not too much, but yeah. No, I think, again, give me the theatrical release. Like, you could make money on this movie. I feel like the budget's relatively small. I still wish I was getting more of the Predator, because they definitely could have had Arnold come back in a sequel, and I'm bummed out about that, and that's kind of lame. But I'm gonna watch it. It's fine. I don't know. This ain't really the thing I want in the Predator franchise, but I feel like they don't really know what they're doing in general, and they're just trying to do something that's closer to the original, where it's like a hunt and a chase. You're kind of stripped down. I mean, that's what the end of the first movie was, and that's what we're kind of getting here, it looks like.
This is a good concept, though. I mean, I like it.
It's a very interesting concept, because you got to look at the time period. Like, this is like bow and arrow versus advanced technology.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean, but also, like, I mean, in theory, there's a lot of canon, like in the extended canon, that does deal with this right here. Like, this is a thing that's been around for a long time in the Predator extended canon, is them, Native Americans, all that kind of stuff. A female protagonist, all these things. That's always it's been more so than not, actually. It's fine. I just I don't know. I kind of. I don't want to just come off as sexist like that, because that's not this. I kind of like, I wish Arnold was back. I want to see Arnold in the sequel. Like, I want the big macho, machismo, just badass. And like, I want Arnold back. It's not even about
I don't think you need it.
Expendables versus Predator.
God, that'd be fun. That's a crossover.
Now, here's the thing, Joe.
That's the show.
I don't need it, but I fucking want it. That's the problem.
Yeah, of course exactly. My last thought on that, I would really love to see a story where we get to spend more time on, like, the Predator planet.
Yes.
Like where, like,
world? Yeah, that would be
I want to see their world, more of their worlds, and
one of the coolest things in all these movies was, and love it or hate it, AVP Requiem, is when you see that elder Predator on his homeworld. There's like 2 or 3 suns out there. It's fucking hot as shit. And that was like, oh shit, this is badass. That was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. My one final pitch for this, okay?
Yeah.
The Predator movie I want to see is, I want to see an Aztec Predator movie, all right? As directed by Mel Gibson.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Here's what I want, Joel. I want Arnold to be captured by the predators, just like kind of like in Predators, and taken to the Predator homeworld in like a gladiator style match. And like it's like here's all the people who've killed the Predators, and we're bringing them here, and you can even freeze them
Battle of the
cryogenically
Champions.
throughout time.
Yeah.
Like have this Comanche warrior from Prey, have Adrian Brody, have Arnold, have Danny Glover wouldn't do it, but have them all come back and they're unfrozen. Or here you go.
No.
Here's what
You
should have
get Danny
happened.
Stolen
Glover to
technology
show up
from
in his
Wayland
part and
Industries.
just say, "I'm too old for this shit." That's what
No.
happens.
Here you go, boys. At the end of Predators, when the parachutes start dropping in, instead of Arnold drop in, you do have Arnold, but it's Mr. Freeze Arnold, the ultimate Predator antagonist, right? He has the cold. Can you tell me that would be the best crossover ever? I mean, there you go, Disney. Right here. Anyway, sorry.
Batfleck versus Predator.
He just
Be
dressed.
awesome.
All right.
What killed the
wrapping up
dinosaurs?
the
The Ice Age.
last couple of notes. Another Hulu note. MODOK, the series MODOK, has been canceled by Hulu. I have not watched this yet. I need to. There is an episode on the Agents of Mace podcast where the other agents talked about it, but I wasn't able to watch this one, so I had to skip out on that episode.
It's cute. I've only seen a couple episodes. It's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know if they're going to keep it there or what's going to happen to it, but I may try to watch it.
It won't be on Disney Plus. It's kind of rougher.
It's much edgier show.
They already pushed
expect
boundaries
it.
putting Punisher and Daredevil on
And
there.
we got some Fast X news, Fast 10 news. Alan Richardson has joined the cast. Do we know who he's playing?
I don't.
I hope it's like the character that's like Scott Eastwood's character in Fast 8, Fast 7, Fast 8. I hope it's like that kind of character where it's like the American. It's like the Paul Walker character. Yeah. Scott Eastwood might be a sweetheart. I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on you, Scott. But goddamn, you need to take some acting classes, buddy. He's just not the best actor. He's not the best actor.
His father is not an actor. He's a director, but he is not an actor. He is a movie star.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Eastwood.
Or he plays. I mean, we're talking about the Fast. He will play Raphael. He will be a turtle.
Yes. I love it. I hope so.
Mean, crossover. Let's go. Let's go.
I really hope that. I mean, I love Jack Reacher, and I really hope that that show, and it looks like it might be doing that, is going to make him like a movie star also, because he could be a movie star, like an action movie star.
Totally good.
Yeah.
He's got the chops for it.
Referring
I think
to
so
Alan?
too. Yes. I mean, he's been in Titans. He's been in,
Have either of you watched his interviews around behind the scenes of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drama?
Yes, I've seen quite a bit. Yeah.
It's just, just very frustrating to hear like the stuff that they had to go through.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And he's someone that, again, he's put in a lot of time and effort, especially on these like, kind of fanboy kind of things like Turtles and Titans. And he was on was it Smallville? Yes, he was Aquaman in Smallville. All these other kind of things. And I think that his time is about due. I think people really loved him in Jack Reacher like I did. And I think that he could be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the next 5-6 years.
Very possible. I think Reacher was a smart move on his part. I think that's pushing him forward.
Yeah.
100%.
I need to watch Reacher for sure. I would say put him up against a Predator. Like,
oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch that movie. Arnold's son.
Definitely. Arnold's son. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, you could do that.
Oh,
that's a great idea.
All right. We're going to write the script after
Dutch Jr. There you go.
You did.
All right. Let's get into the Blu-ray releases. So 4K new releases. We have the Batman. We have the Steelbook and a gift set. You got them yet?
Actually, mine come in Saturday. It's in my mailbox. I haven't went and got it yet, but I just got home yesterday. So,
nice.
As soon as we get done here, I'm going to go unwrap it. So
please share a photo. I do need to order. I do need to order the Steelbook for sure. We also have The Burning Sea and Ray Donovan the movie. I've seen a lot of ads around Ray Donovan. I'm not familiar with that. I guess it's a show going turn movie.
It's a show on Showtime. It's good.
Okay. All right.
I know that we share the same name, which is always an anomaly for me. Like, whoa, my name's somewhere, so I don't want to ever see that. So I know that's the thing. Yeah.
I like Liev Schreiber a lot. I mean, he's always fun.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, he's cool.
Eventually, maybe this is one I'll eventually get to. And then we've got 4K re-releases. We've got the 92 version of Candyman. We have a steelbook for Wild Things, Life Force, Malignant, Patriot Games, Some of All Fears, The Burning Sea, and Passengers.
Some of All Fears and Patriot Games. Okay.
Yeah, it's like two of the 5 Jack Reacher movies. Sorry,
that's two of my favorites.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan, yeah.
What'd you say, Joel?
I said that's two of my favorites, actually.
I like Some of All Fears with Ben Affleck when it came out.
It was really well done. Plus, they had this really killer scene right before they have the bombing. Spoilers.
Yeah.
They're sitting there playing. They're playing the drums and fifes and everything else, singing the national anthem. It's just like, you remember that scene, don't you?
Yeah. It's like the only scene I actually remember, actually. But
it's a good scene.
I mean, Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger are great, and of
Patriot
course,
Games, anything that's got a
Harrison Ford, baby.
Not Harrison Ford. I'm thinking about the villain. Crap. Why can't I think of his name?
No, you were thinking of Harrison Ford.
No, I'm thinking of the villain who plays the Irishman, who's actually British, and he was also in Game of Thrones as Ned Stark. Crap.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me out.
Plays Boromir.
Yeah, I know who it is.
What's his name?
Sean Bean.
I'm having an old moment. Leave me alone.
It's Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, thank you.
The ultimate kill him off. He's also Goldeneye. Bad guy in Goldeneye.
Love Sean Bean.
He's great, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great one-liner in the Goldeneye with him. For country, James? No, for me. That's great. Great one-liner. Okay, so, yes, we did it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to 241 Joe. Apologies for the audio issues earlier on. Joel, you missed this. We had a little bit of audio issues, but it's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It was.
I do have one announcement to say before we sign off. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Go for it.
I need to know. Yes. Tell me.
All right. So, kids, you've known that I have been on my campaign to not see Spider-Man No Way Home. I am proud to announce as of today that I have not seen it once, not twice, but 3 times have I seen Spider-Man No Way Home. So strike the banner down, everyone. Mission accomplished. I have seen it. It is stupendous. It is amazing. It is incredible. I got Spider-Man.
I'm glad you liked it, Joel. I knew you would. It's a great movie.
It's fan candy all the way. It's just like, oh, this is so much fun.
I know. Like, let's just take 1 second, Luke. I'm sorry, but we got to talk about whenever they're on the rooftop and he's like, with great power comes, and then fuck, I'm gonna cry talking about Tobey Maguire's like, with great responsibility. It's like, oh my god, it's like you hold on to something, like it's so good. It's so
full
good.
connections coming through there, yeah.
Oh my god!
But even just the realization from our current Peter Parker that he realized his Aunt May actually got it from, the Uncle Ben. Even though they never mentioned Uncle Ben in this entire thing, it's all that whole connection.
Yeah,
which they're still connecting to the story that we learned from Into the Spider-Verse, which is every Spider-Man has a loss. So even though we didn't see the Uncle Ben loss in this one, we did get our Aunt May loss.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking, dude. That movie is just so good.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's not
gosh,
perfect.
William Dafoe. I was like, God, he's got to be a villain more often.
He come in and was like, "Oh yeah, let me remind you that I am one of the best villains of all time."
Yes, he totally did. I was like, he says, "This is how you do a Marvel villain." Okay, let me show you how it's done.
God damn! Whenever he's like getting punched and like in the that hallway fight scene when there's punching him and he's laughing and bigger and bigger. It's like the Joker
power bombs him. And
it's very like Joker-esque moment, and it's just any future Marvel villain needs to really like look at his performance and be like, we've got to try to top that.
Well, what's great about it is
my favorite thing in Boondock Saints too. Just like
he's great in that. Yes,
still have yet to see that. I need to try to watch.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
I know. Classic. I know. No,
great
there's
movie,
so many classics. Yeah.
Well, what's great about that villain is the fact that. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. what's great about that villain is that he's just a villain. He's like the Joker. He's just someone he's got a very specific viewpoint. He's got a goal. He's not a tragic. He is tragic in the fact that he's like Jekyll and Hyde, but he is a full
Yeah, it's
blown,
not
like,
mental illness.
you can't reason with him. You can't negotiate with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is just the Green Goblin, and it's fun to
Yeah.
get those kind of characters, and we don't get them enough, but it's
Yeah.
fun to kind of get that every now and then, you know.
Green Goblin, like you said, Green Goblin is Spider-Man's Joker. I mean, you can't reason
Yeah.
with him. He's just
100%.
chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm so glad you watched it, Joel. I
Yes,
still have
me
not
too,
seen
me too.
Werewolves Within, but I will have to now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
When y'all do, y'all will bring it up because you'll be like, "Oh my god, you were absolutely right," and I was like, "I know, it threw me off too."
Right.
We'll watch it. We'll
Yeah.
watch it. Luke, send us off.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, let's Joel, where can people find you?
Man, you can check out my YouTube channel at Institutionalize, which is youtube.com/theonlyjoel. I know it was an old name, but here we are. It's like, and you can find my show with my family where we go around the great state of Arkansas and we showcase fun things for everybody to do.
Awesome. You can find me on YouTube at Luke Irvin. I will shout out. So this past week we did a special kind of get together to talk about Multiverse of Madness, where I just reached out to as many Arkansas-based creatives as I could, and you can watch it now on my channel. I believe Andrew Sweatman also shared it on Art House Garage as well. So yeah,
I'm sorry I didn't see it in time to do that.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I hope we can do more things like that again in the future. It could either be Marvel based or it could just be whatever. I don't really care. But I think if you know, we can just keep that momentum going, I think that's good. Allows us to continue to get to know each other and share our channels with everyone and keep making cool stuff. So you can definitely go check that out. Can't remember how many people we had in there. Had 8 people or something like that at one point.
8 or 10.
Yeah, you had a hoodle. There was a hoodle of people.
Yeah.
Hoodle. Yes.
So check that out. And then definitely go check out Agents of Mace podcast. A lot of what we've talked about here, we'll be talking about later on the week. Myself with the other agents. So go check those out.
The other agents. I need to go. I'm gonna make another podcast and then call it Agents of Hydra or something, and like a nega podcast, and I'm gonna talk about all the things you guys don't talk about on your channel.
There you go. There you go.
I do have an Agents of Hydra. I'm just saying.
So does Matt Mitchell. One of the funniest things ever. We were at my brother's wedding, and Matt leaned into me, and he showed me the pin. He goes, "Hell Hydra," like that. It was one of the funniest things ever. At my brother's wedding.
That's
ever since Iron Man 2, or not Iron Man 2, but ever since Captain America: Winter Soldier, we always make fun of the senator doing that, and to I think his name is Atwell or something. But of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you're up to date on all future episodes of 2 for 1 Joe live every Monday at 9 a.m. Of course, we have the podcast 2 for 1 on all podcast services. This week, we do have Bruce Hutchinson back in the guest chair talking about The Fifth Element, starring Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman, and of course, Mia Djokovic. So be on the lookout for that script now breakdown. And of course, if you didn't know, and I bet you didn't, we are sponsored by Kapow Comics, located at 4047 East Kill Avenue in Sherwood, Arkansas. There they have comic books, collectibles, graphic novels, and of course, special guest appearances throughout the year.
Kapow!
Kapow! Okay. Luke, it was a pleasure. Thank you for running the show today. It's nice not having to read it and just sit back and give all my really extended, overly thought out thoughts. And Joe, I'm glad you got to come in the last second and
I did too. I'm glad I got to see
you. Yes, and we are running out of time, but I do want to hear your thoughts on Multiverse of Madness. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I want to hear your thoughts next week.
Yep,
we don't have time today. We're definitely over time today, but
and I'm too busy admiring his little Luke's Doctor Strange slick back right now. As he's looking all distinguished and all that.
He just needs he needs the goatee now, and the third eye.
Yeah, he totally does.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Of course, I'll catch you guys next Monday, and I'll see you then.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.